Welcome back to the Atlas Masterclass. It's night 3 of Argentina, and tonight we're going to make a baked egg dish. So we're making a tortilla, so we're going to have some potato, some spinach, and also some tomato. And then we're going to actually cook that all, blister it all, and get it really, really nice and sort of strong and intense in flavour. Then we're going to crack in the eggs, get it about 3/4 cooked, and then finish it in the oven with some lovely mozzarella cheese. So we'll get cooking with the potato first. So I go in with the oil. And this is sort of essential with this one to be using a non-stick pan. Will really just help with obviously getting it out. I'm going to serve it in the pan though for this one. I'm going to pour that there. So we go in with our potatoes. So we slice up the potatoes and get those just flat on the bottom of the pan. We'll start cooking as well. And then with our tomatoes, just if there's any little green tops, taking those off, give them a little rinse as well, just so nice and clean. And the same with the spinach, give it a little rinse, a wash as well. I'm going to also, just so to keep the spinach nice and green, put a little boiling water tap here, but if not, you can boil it in some water or pour a kettle over it. I'm just going to quickly blanch it with this water. And this will just sort of help us with keep that nice green, beautiful, vibrant spinach colour that we all love. And I'll pour that water off just before we cook it. So sort of giving that a mix. Let it sort of get that nice, beautiful green colour. So our potatoes are cooking along nicely. Now we'll get our eggs ready as well. So cracking our eggs into the bowl. Giving it a good mix. And this is a part as well, just to give you a bit of season as well. So a bit of salt. If you want to splash your pepper, it never hurts as well. So you're starting to get a bit of colour on these, so we'll just keep going for now. Once they're sort of halfway cooked, then we'll throw the tomatoes in. And as well, I just like to add about a tablespoon of water per egg, just to give a little bit of a more sort of surface area to the egg, so it will really spread out, and it might just keep it a little bit more sort of fluffy as well, and not so dense to the dish. So the potatoes are looking great. So the tomatoes go in now whole, and we just want to blister them, so we can turn it up, trying to get a nice bit of the cooking started. The potatoes, a bit of colour is what we're looking for. And now I'll just leave them. Right, so once they start to blister, we'll be ready as well to add everything else in. So now I've got this blistered, I'm just going to turn it down. I'm going to add in my egg mix. What I like to do as well is just to sort of move it around at first, just to make sure it's all evenly spread. Just start the process, and this is over quite a low heat as well. Then I like to just drip the spinach in evenly across the dish. And I'll go in with a spring onion at this stage also. So look at that, just so fresh. And basically you're baking it like a cake. So you want it to look and set so it will come out of the pan and you can eat it. It's just absolutely delicious. Really awesome vegetarian dish. Something that, you know, if you get it right, just so, so tasty. As well as that, I'm just going to put a sprinkle of salt on top as well. And then I'll let that cook for a couple of minutes on low heat. So you start to see it will be setting nicely. I'm going to cover it with cheese and then bake it in the oven. So now the dish is about 3/4 of the way cooked. So I've had it on a low temperature. You'll see the outside starting to set nicely. Still a bit of sort of liquidy in the middle. That's good. And now we're going to really cover it with this mozzarella. So although it is sort of like a Spanish style tortilla, the sort of Argentinian influence, or the reason this is Argentinian tonight, is adding this mozzarella. So there's such a huge Italian influence in Argentina, whether, you know, it's through pasta or, you know, all the different types of dishes they have, and they love eating a lot of cheese, so especially mozzarella. So we're just going to cover it on there. Then we're going to put it in a nice hot oven, so about 180 degrees, and then we're just going to cook it until you've got a nice colour on the top. So it really just takes as long or as little as your oven is hot. You basically just want to melt the cheese and get a nice colour on top. So I'm going to go straight over to the oven, and then I've got a little bit of the spinach left and some sliced tomato to just sprinkle on top as a salad, and I'll serve straight from the pan. So now I've been cooking this for about 10 minutes and it's got a really beautiful colour on top. It's puffed up really nicely. I shake it and it's coming away from the side of the pan, so I know it's just cooked just beautifully. Look at that. Oh, it looks just magnificent. And then just to finish, just a couple of chopped cherry tomatoes, a bit of spinach on top. So, you know, this is really what I think Argentinian food's about. You know, it's got always a bit of influence from either Spain or either Italy. Some really big flavours, beautiful ingredients, heaps of cheese for this dish, of course. And I really hope you enjoyed this week in Argentina.